Hello and welcome. I'm Chuck Steiner, President and CEO of the Chamber of Schenectady County, and welcome to Chamber Connections. I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to have my partner, my colleague, join us for Chamber Connections as we discuss some of the very important programs that both Chamber of Commerce's share. And that's the key word here, is share. Welcome to Mark Eagan, President and CEO of the Albany-Colonie Regional Chamber. Mark, we've been at our shared programs now for going on 8 years plus. And they really have, I think, set a new standard for our two organizations and the work that we've been doing in the region.
No, I would agree. I think that we were really visionary, our volunteers at that time and staff coming together, realizing that, you know, municipal boundaries don't define our economy. We're truly a regional economy, and we're going to be able to provide better services to our members and ultimately to our communities the more we work together. Obviously we do it in a number of different ways. Today I think we're going to talk primarily about our Young Professionals Network, but we also have our Nonprofit Business Council, we have Leadership Tech Valley, and then we also have the Global Business Network. And I don't think any of those programs would be as strong if we did them on our own. I think because we do them together, they're stronger offerings, and our members not only get better content, they get a broader connection of businesses to interact with.
And actually this show is like that because we are sharing the hosting of this program to be able to articulate and talk a little bit about our Young Professionals Network and something very special that has come to be with that group.
Well, it is, and I think way back when we formed it, it wasn't, okay, we have these younger people at companies and how do we connect them to the chamber. I don't think it was ever really about that. It was us recognizing that, you know, what's going to set our community apart from other communities across the country is talent. And I think that every community is at the race to have the best talent they can. So for our organizations, it's a workforce development initiative. How do we help attract people to the region and this young talent at companies? How do we connect them with each other? How do we develop them, and how do we empower them to make a difference not only within their companies but within our community? And as you know, we've had a really strong track record, and it really is because I think we have strong staff leadership and strong volunteer leadership that really make it work.
And no question, it is workforce development. In fact, Site Magazine, the #1 criteria now for site selectors is workforce. And it's a great segue that we can bring on the facilitator for our YPN, but more importantly, our Business Council Manager for the Albany-Colonie Regional Chamber, Brandi Miller. Brandi, your work with numerous councils has been terrific. But I must say, the work with the Young Professionals Network, you've really taken it to a new standard. Can you give a little sense of the goals and objectives of the Young Professionals Network?
Of course. So as you mentioned, it is the Shared Workforce Development Initiative. And the group is really a catalyst to help connect, develop, and empower the young professionals in the capital region. And the ways that we do that are we offer professional development opportunities, networking opportunities, and then civic engagement opportunities. And through all of those experiences, we really are helping to strengthen the talent pipeline here in Tech Valley. There are a number of programs, opportunities for volunteers to get involved, get engaged, and just build their skill set, whether it be professionally related, personally related. We are developing leaders in this region that are investing in our communities.
Very good. One of the things that we have recognized over the years of working with the YPN, they really don't look at boundaries, do they? They don't look at municipal lines and how some of our past we look at cities and towns. They really look at this region as an entity.
Absolutely. They are go-getters, and we're fortunate to have those people invested in YPN because they're the ones that are really taking our mission and running with it. And they don't look at the boundaries. They look at this entire region as a place full of assets and wonderful things that young professionals should be participating in and moving here to experience.
one of the particular programs that I know that I think has really set YPN apart has been the Mentee Mentor program. Could you explain a little bit briefly what that program does and how it brings our communities together?
Of course. So the mentorship program is the cornerstone of YPN. That program connects ambitious young professionals with seasoned high-level business leaders. It is a 6-month program. It starts in January and concludes in June. And during that time frame, we encourage them to connect, attend fundraisers together, attend programs. We offer some formal programs for them with speakers that focus on topics relevant to their mentorship experience. So it's a wonderful opportunity for a young professional that might be trying to advance in their career, get a promotion, develop more skills, as well as a mentor to connect with a different generation and gain some insight on how to communicate and work with that generation. So it's really a great partnership and a lot of value for both ends of that.
Well, I think the YPs, not only represent the council well, but I think they really represent our community well. And one of the initiatives I know that Chuck and I spoke to you as more volunteer leaderships a couple of years ago was we're doing a lot with our existing talent, but is there more we can do to attract talent? And one of the things that we talked about that as a region we're blessed that we have so many colleges and universities. Most regions our size don't have as many institutions of higher learning, but so many of those young people, they don't know our community beyond their college campus, or if they do, it's a mall or it's a pub, and they don't know where they could live or how they might get their first job. So I know we talked about how do we get onto those campuses, which led us to something that we sort of phrased the campus roadshow. Talk to us a little bit about sort of how our experiment the last couple of years and how we've learned from that, and ultimately what our goal was.
So that program is very unique and very specific to a mission of connecting with college students and getting them to get off campus and explore this region. We started the program a couple years ago, and it took a few formats to figure out something that would really stick and resonate with students, because you're going in, you're connecting with them. They have a lot on their mind. They might be thinking jobs, or they might be dead set on moving to a big city like New York City. So coming into that setting and trying to connect with them was a challenge, but we found a format that really has worked, and that's going on campus and bringing in some of our young professional members to engage with them. And our members are coming in and sharing their experience. So we'll have somebody that maybe moved here from New York City and they came here for affordable housing, or maybe they came up here for school and fell in love with this region and decided to stay. And then we'll bring the other perspective to it too, though, where you have the person that grew up here and can talk about how much this area has grown and where they see it going. So having that interactive conversation with the students has really allowed us to connect with them and provide some value and insight in those conversations.
Well, I know one of the challenges that we have is obviously those people on the campuses, there's so many places they can be, and to get enough of them to really hear our story, the story of the capital region. So I know that sort of led us to talking about, can we develop a tool that we can not only push to college students, but also a tool that area companies can utilize as they try to attract talent. I don't know, Chuck, you want to talk about that? Maybe show our viewers our newest film.
And I do, and I just wanted to make one remark to Brandi. When she mentions our colleges and universities, this region, we have numerous. It's more than just numerous. It's double-digit numbers, and we have a lot of talent, Mark. A lot of folks that are coming here, and we recognize they're not all going to stay. But we want to make an aggressive approach, and that's really been what we felt going to create this new production to outreach to those young people and engage them into the community, make them feel a sense of the community, so maybe they just might stay. Let's take a look at this and see for yourself why we like to say hello to our New York.
Hey, welcome to New York. Oh, not that New York, the other one, about 100 miles up the Hudson. Maybe you heard of us, the Capital Region, right here in the heart of Tech Valley. But tech isn't all we've got. There's something to be said for beauty and smarts. You know it's all about the living, right? We've got it all. Nature, culture, nightlife, business, careers, lots of colleges and universities. Maybe you went to school here and got a little taste of what I'm talking about, but there's a whole lot more. This is an awesome place to make a living and a life. Come on, let me show you around. First, no matter what they say about the other New York, we're still the capital. And that means all the energy and vibe of a big city in a package you can wrap your arms around. There's so much to do here. Great places to go and hang out with your friends. How you doing? Or make new ones. Cappuccinos on the street. Crafty brews after work. Pubs, clubs, world-class entertainment. If you want to play, game on. And if you think SPAC, TU, and the egg are things you have for breakfast, music, anyone? Some of the hottest tours on the planet stop here, and our local music scene is making noise all across the country. It's all part of a lifestyle that's got you written all over it, no matter where you hang your hat. A house in the country, a condo right in the heart of downtown, maybe a really cool loft by the river. One word, affordable. We're growing jobs in the Tech Valley. Startups, incubators, innovators, some of the coolest research on the planet. Hands down, breakthrough, how do they do that kind of stuff? And we're doing it. Check it out. Now, I don't want to be a name dropper, but some really big companies live here, right alongside small companies that you've never even heard of. Yet. Where are you headed? Far, I hope. And you can get there from the Capital Region. Draw a circle. We're right in the middle of everything. Hey, the Adirondacks, Lake George, Lake Placid, the Catskills, the Berkshires. It's the great outdoors right outside of your door. Hike, bike, swim, ski, camp, climb. If you're looking for a wild time, I'm just saying. Manhattan's a couple hours down the river. Montreal, that way. Boston, over there. Take a personal day or spend the weekend. Business or pleasure. Location, location, bullseye. What are you waiting for? Lifestyle, opportunity, location? It's the hat trick to good living. Maybe it's time you joined us. Experience all the good stuff that comes with the territory. They say you only live once. Who knows? But if that's true, you might as well give it your best shot. And for my money, it doesn't get any better than right here. If you're looking for a place to call home, say hello to the Capital Region. Make our New York your New York.
We hope you enjoyed the video. As you can see, we're really proud of our community, and hopefully you are. When we decided that we wanted to create this tool, we really had to reach out to businesses that exist in the community, Chuck, didn't we?
We sure did, and we wanted to do a process that would allow all of our members who work in this kind of field to participate with us in this process and join us. Obviously, we had to make a selection of the ultimate company that would help us and lead us in producing this program. And we're very, very fortunate to accept the work of the Creative Advantage.
They had a great proposal, and hopefully, as you watch the film, the people saw at the end their name there. But we had a lot of responses. But the Creative Advantage didn't just put together just some basic thoughts and put together a budget. They really took the time to develop a storyboard. They really led us through, and we could visualize really what it was coming through that paper and what we could see come to life. So with that, I don't know if you want to turn it over to our guests.
I do, and why the storyboard is so important and why visualizing it is, or seeing it and trying to see it in your vision, but then actually seeing the results that our audience just saw. It's incredible. So gentlemen, we thank you. And joining us from the Creative Advantages, two individuals, Bob Radliffe, who did a lot of the production and producing the video, and Bob Turan, who has been creator, go-between, hand-holder, making it all work for us and connecting the Creative Advantage on our thoughts and process from the YPN. And I got to thank you both, gentlemen, because it's never easy, I'm sure, working all with different clients. But not only were you working with a different clientele, you're working with two clients in the sense that you had two chambers of commerce in this shared program, but a little different than the norm, maybe.
A little bit. It was a lot of fun. We loved working with the chambers. Everything was very well organized. Everything was laid out. They had a very clear idea what they were looking for. I think we tried to put together an approach that was kind of a hybrid for where we set out and where we ended up. We knew we wanted to do kind of a fluid walkthrough of the area. The challenge there is to make it fluid, keep it moving. It gives a lot of life to the program. So at the same time, if we took that approach, we thought that maybe we would leave out some of the iconic landmarks. So we said, well, let's make a hybrid. Let's do the walkthrough and we'll find some spots to bring in some other shots. So the whole script was put together from that perspective, and we did a little storyboard to kind of present to everybody and say, yeah, that's the way we want to go. And in the process of doing that, we identified a good number of the places that we wanted to go. And we worked with YPN and the chambers to figure out what the other places. They had to be iconic, they had to be instantly recognizable, and that got us started.
It's kind of interesting that this video comes together with that engagement and that conversations and trying to visualize the region. Creative Advantage, this obviously is your work. This is something, Bob, that you've done and feel comfortable with, because it certainly helped taking what we saw and thought and visualized, but the Creative Advantage brought it actually to completion.
That's right. The Creative Advantage has been in Schenectady for a little over 35 years. And while we have many business-to-business clients, companies like GE and Raytheon and various organizations, one thing about the chambers is we feel a very close contact to the region, to the area that we live in. And when we actually, I had been in touch with Robin prior to the RFP coming out, saying, is there anything we can do to help the chamber out? She said, well, we're working on a project. We'll make sure that that you guys get invited to answer the RFP. Once we did that, you had mentioned the way things come together. One of the things that we're proud about the way we work is not only thinking things up, we think them through. And that's where we thought that it would be a good idea to do a storyboard as part of the proposal. It was an added effort on our part, but we thought that by making that effort, it would help you not only sell the proposal or sell our video to the chamber, but also to the rest of the community. So that's why we went ahead, we did the storyboard. We didn't know that we were going to come up with the talented actor that we did, so we called him Joe and we put it together. And we tried to get the idea across that here was a young professional who was talking to other young professionals in the area about all the great things that they miss if they just stay on campus or go down to the pub. And we were very lucky to be able to cast the guy that we needed to be able to pull that off.
Hallelujah.
Well, yeah, and I think that you bring up a really good point. You know, I think that, you know, in my line of work, I've seen lots of community videos, and this is unlike most I've ever seen. You really did a great job in capturing who our targeted demographic was. You know, originally we said it was really the young professional, probably 30 and under. But the interesting part is, even though the way you wrote the script and a lot of the language that you used and the age of our actor, we've had so many companies tell us that they are now using it for talent attraction no matter what age, because it really, most of what's in there is really applicable. So, we're thrilled because it means that, members of the community, whether it's, our municipalities or companies, who are utilizing it. It was interesting that, Chuck and I were talking earlier, all these added sort of uses that this video is getting that we never expected even just, a few weeks ago. There's a conference of all the tourism associations around the state of New York, and they're going to be hosting their annual conference in the capital region in a couple of weeks. They discovered the video, and they reached out to us and said, as we welcome the delegates, can we use this as the video to welcome to the region?
Oh, that's great.
And then there was outreach just recently from the New York Council of Mayors, and it's because they heard about the video. But earlier we spoke to Brandi, who's on our staff, but they've asked Brandi and members of our Young Professionals Network to now be presenters to mayors throughout the whole state, talking about what our region is doing to retain and develop talent in the capital region. So it's amazing what you originally think of the audience and the purpose of the video, how it really is much more than that.
Do you see that often? Do you see that change when your original thinking audience, because you certainly hit the audience with our young professionals, but I know I'm getting great reaction in a very, very diverse audience.
Yeah, I think we were surprised. I mean, it really has shown a lot of appeal across a broad range of demographics. I was very, very pleased with the reaction. And a lot of people, trying to guess where the places are, and I know that, and we've seen a lot of comments in social media, and it's very well received. And we're very happy to have been a part of it.
One of the things that I think is nice for us about it is that this is it's a more general video. A lot of the stuff that we produce for companies get excellent reviews within the companies and within their customers, and that's a smaller universe. What's nice about this is you're talking about the whole state of New York, you're talking about the capital region, and it's designed not for scientists or researchers or manufacturing base. It's designed for everyone.
It's a real human element.
It's a human element, and that's what made it fun to make, and we're just glad that other people are getting a chance to see it now.
You say fun to make. It seems watching it, viewing it, it's seamless.
Yeah, it was supposed to look like that.
But it wasn't, right?
But that had a great deal of work that went into that to make it feel
It did.
seamless.
A lot of the things that I think that contribute to that, and Freddy certainly had a big part in it, is having that camera move all the time and knowing where he is and where the camera is and how much space you have to say your line, 50 feet, how many steps is that? You're going to end up here. And he just nailed it. But I think that kind of planning, it has everything to do with how fluid and how seamless it is.
Because I find the pace of the video, moving through it, so much engaging, and why people, I think, are embracing this.
Yeah.
Because of that pace, because of it just flowing very, very, very seamlessly.
Yeah, I agree.
It's well done.
I have to comment on one final scene and give Freddy a plug. We were at Thatcher Park, and if you watch the scene that closes out the video, Freddy is doing a walk and talk, and he's making his way to the ledge. And as he gets closer to the ledge, he has to turn around because obviously he wants the scenery over his shoulder and the sun's over here. So we have to get Freddy turned around in the right position. So the last 10, 15 seconds of that, he's walking backwards, downhill, and plants his foot right on the spot where he has to be, never looked back, and delivered his lines like an ace.
Well, it's funny. One of our colleagues has said after she saw it like the third or fourth time, she said, "I still feel like I'm going to say, oh, it's going to fall."
Yeah.
Well, you pretty well captured the entire region, but one iconic place, happens to be where the Creative Advantage houses all of your employees and your work. And very, very creative facility, being a former house of worship on Union Street in downtown Schenectady, and very, very iconic place, as well as very, very creative place. And we thank the Creative Advantage, and we thank our good friend Walt Supley, Walter is the mainstay and the guru of the Creative Advantage. And gentlemen, we thank you for the great job and the excitement that it's brought to our region.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Same here. Thanks.
Bravo.
You know, Mark, we have so much talent in this community, not only a company like the Creative Advantage, but also the fact that we found an individual that could be our lead actor in our video that really just, I think, was the perfect selection. And you're not always sure that that's going to happen.
That's right. And it really makes all the difference. You heard, our earlier guests talk about that while they had all the video production, and we have obviously, great scenery in our community, without the right actor, it could have made all the difference in the world. So, thank God it wasn't me who had to narrate.
Yeah. And Bob Turan mentioned that he called it in his storybook Joe.
Right.
Well, his name was...
We did much better than Joe, didn't we?
We did much better than Joe, and we want to welcome Freddy Ramirez to our Chamber Connection show. And Freddy, you just scored a big one for this region and for the Chambers of Commerce, and thank you for your talent.
Thank you for welcoming me here, and it was really a wonderful opportunity to be able to be part of this and to help inform people about what the Capital Region has to offer, because it's quite a bit.
So tell me, I'm sure people have asked you this. Were you aware of all what went on in this region until you got a little bit more deeper into this project?
Not really. I actually, I love the area. I had visited the area a while ago and decided, this is pretty much where I want to set my life. You always dream growing up. I grew up in New York City. You always dream of having that really cozy, fantastic dream house, where it's a village, everybody greets you in the morning, when you go out to get your newspaper, all those crazy things that seem like fantasy. I actually am able to have that up here and still be able to perform. There are a lot of theaters. There's professional theaters, there's community theaters, there's Proctor's and the Palace Theater bringing in tours. I mean, there's so much to offer. In addition to just performing, you have a wonderful lifestyle and being able to be comfortable living that lifestyle.
Which I think came through in the video.
Yes.
That as I think I said when we came back, that every time I would watch it, I would just feel so proud, not just of the video, but of our community. And I think that the way that you narrated it came through. But my guess is some of our viewers are probably curious about you. Talk about a little bit about your acting career.
I was on Broadway. I did Grease, the revival, and I've done a lot of tours internationally and nationally, and a lot of regional work. I've actually also performed up here in the area, Capitol Repertory Theater. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough to be part of their Man of La Mancha company, which was a couple years ago.
I was there.
Yeah, and a wonderful opportunity, and also to be able to choreograph for them. I choreographed Gypsy and last year's Secret Garden, and this year I'm going to be actually choreographing their A Christmas Story. So, like I said, there's so much opportunity, and not just to perform, but to be part of the creative aspect of it, and teaching up here as well. I mean, there's so much. Yeah. There's so much talent up here. Not only in acting in the theater, obviously, the Creative Advantage can show you how professionally businesses up here function.
Well, we hope through the video that we are going to get more folks to put their eye on the Capital Region, whether they've never been here or folks that maybe this is their invite to come back home again. And I think one of the things that Chuck and I are amazed about, and maybe if you have any anecdotes to share, is while we knew there were public forums that we were going to show it, we knew companies were maybe going to put it on their website or send a link to people. Today in the world of social media, how viral it went, and how we have people in other states who are now responding. Talk to about from your perspective.
Well, I just got contacted a couple weeks ago by a relative in Florida who said that a Florida resident there contacted him about, hey, I'm from the Albany area, and I just saw this video, and we know that guy, and we're from there too. And they were saying how we should go back to Albany. I think it's time for us to go back. It's very inviting. And then we had someone from Texas contacting us and saying, hey, I saw your video. It sounds fantastic to live there. I kind of want to go and visit. So I'm hoping that this really opens up people's eyes to what the Capital Region has to offer. You know, not just a wonderful lifestyle and affordability, which is a lot to do with people's decision making when they're, you know, trying to choose where they're gonna settle down. But again, there's just so much up here, and not only to work but to enjoy. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? So many parks, so many natural. Like museums and everything up here. It's just amazing.
Well, I think one of the lines in the video might talk something about more than making a living, you can make a life here.
Exactly.
And I think that we see that time and time again. And I know one of the comments that we've made is while our two chambers had the video produced, we really don't want to own the video. We want the community to own the video, and our hope is that our listeners and our viewers today, well, they'll go to our chamber websites, to YouTube, and they'll find it, and they'll share it, and they'll send it out. And it's really about local pride, and it's again about inviting people to be part of our community going forward.
Very true. You're a wonderful actor, but the passion of your presentation was from your heart. So we thank you, Freddy Ramirez. We look forward to working with you in the future.
Great, thank you so much.
And that's what our chambers are all about. We're all about connecting. And the show is called The Chamber Connections. And we hopefully you have enjoyed Chamber Connections. Mark, I've enjoyed the conversation. We've got a wonderful, wonderful product with the video. And we have even more of an incredible organization in our Young Professionals Network that I think is going to establish this region in a long time to come, enticing and encouraging young professionals to stay and live right here in the Capital Region.
I agree. I'm glad we could put a spotlight on it today.
Very good. Thank you for joining us tonight.